Commit status effect. Well, I'm gonna fix you. I can fix. Do you wanna? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do too. I was, nah. Probably not necessary. Nah. If you want to do it for yourself, you can, but I'm not going to. Right. You said I need dice, right? Okay. Okie dokie. Yeet.
Have to fucking chug some more.
Alright. We
Alright,
are
so
live.
so are you messaging just the day before the festival? Is this when you're like doing it? Using the tweeter still?
Uh, yeah. That was the thought. Um,
Okay. So
if
Caritas is
we're.
already gone and
Yeah, it was
Jeffrey and all
definitely
that.
after that. Did you. Are you gonna, like, stick hard to the rule with the, 5 minutes a day? Or,
Is that what I put down for the tweeter?
yeah.
We'll just say for this we'll keep it because there's a lot to talk about, so we'll ignore it. It was
Okay.
just kind of like a general rule, so that way if you did do someone else, it wasn't like pretty much a free semi what do you call Sending stone. For
Right.
this one, it would be fine. Since you're right, Lily's not a big deal. Yeah, no, we're not gonna stick super hardcore to it.
Well then,
Almost, almost everyone will be like rushing there. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I know you have a lot to talk about, and she has her journal worth of days, so it's fine.
So, over the course of traveling, I carved Lily Tolarus into this magic item, and on the fourth night, after I send Jeff out to let him go home, and when we're done with the festivities in the bar, head back up to my my inn room and speak the command word tweet.
Okay, so yeah, the stone starts to make little like tweets, and then you see the stone glow just a slight hue, and then at this moment you just think it's on. Uh, you don't hear anything from Lily. She doesn't even notice that it's going on at the moment. So whenever you want to say something,
Uh, Hi Lily. I know it's a little late. You should be able to tell it's me.
Jo-an? Oh, hello. Wait, is this one of those message things or sending spells? Do I have to worry about how many words I'm saying?
No, I was able to find a item that'll let me talk to you, and we
Oh,
can just
that's
talk.
cool. Oh
How
well, yeah, no, I'm still up.
how are you? What have you been doing?
Oh, oh, I tell you what, I've been doing a lot of things. I even have a whole journal about it. Been quite busy, been doing quite well. Hasn't been too bad of a trip. I'm actually up right now keeping watch. Well, I'm not keeping watch. I'm keeping watch with someone else. I'm just kind of being an extra pair of eyes and trying to get used to being on the road here. What's going on with you?
I'm uh I'm out in Valcrest still. They're gonna have a festival here tomorrow, and we're gonna a few of us are gonna hang out for that and have some fun.
Oh, that's cool. Do you know what kind of festival it is, or what there's gonna be, or if there's gonna be prizes and stuff?
I think so. Uh, yeah, there should be prizes. I think there are.
Oh,
It was
hopefully there's some
to
good ones.
not really sure what the festival is. I maybe I asked. I feel like it was told to me at one point, but it just seemed like a kind of generic festival. I don't really remember.
Yeah,
I've
you
had a lot of things going on past few days.
Yeah, you would know, just based off your intelligence and pretty good at history, and not too long ago, that is a magic festival that'll be coming into town. So you know it's gonna be like teleported in. So that's pretty much all you got. But
Okay.
yeah, she goes, "Oh, okay, okay, that's pretty cool. I hope it's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully it'll give you a break from your adventuring. I know that you were going to Valcrest for something. I think something to do with the forest. I think you're doing some kind of investigation, which I
Yeah,
assume you succeeded thanks to my friend suddenly being relieved, which that's another story.
you have a friend that has a connection to this forest, huh?
Yeah, yeah, one of the bodyguards we hired is actually a druid, and believe it or not, you know, I kind of grown, and I feel kind of bad about your friend Pond or River
Ripple.
Ocean? Ripple, yeah, yeah, Ripple. So next time I see her, I kind of owe her an apology. But yeah, I've kind of appreciate druids, and they have a different point of view and everything.
She's
But yeah,
been very
I can go into my
eye-opening.
journal and look at that. Well, she's definitely a kind soul. I can tell you that. Even though I was not very tolerable of her. of her views
eccentricities.
and yeah, picks. But other than that, as long as I mean, you got this far with her, so she can't be too bad. And you could be with a lot worse company. So you got a festival tomorrow, and then what's next for you after that?
Um, I don't really know. Met. Oh, the thing. There's been so much has happened, and I'm just so glad to hear your voice, Lily. Ugh,
Oh, I'm glad to hear from you. I mean, I'm sure it's not as rough as you have it, but it's nice hearing from family and familiar voice. And
yes.
she like you can hear like flipping in the background, and she gets her journal out, and she's just like, yeah, I've a lot of things have happened, and even some good news coming to our little town, Bercombe in the future.
Really? I'd love to hear about your adventure, and I'll fill you in on mine after.
Okay, well, on the first day, I kept this journal to kind of keep track for the good and the bad and the ugly, and if we could study them or improve on the situations or things to highlight, and I don't know, maybe something just nice to reflect on this journey. Maybe something of interest or maybe not, but it keeps me busy at night during these nights when there's nothing else to really do. Um, I'm with the bounty hunter quest giver. If you remember him, the orc Sugbu. As you know, he's the youngest one of the brothers, and he came with us. Looking forward to seeing his other brother, Duff Hug, I guess is his name. And I guess he was the bounty hunter giver in Colombo, and he's going back to it to help out. He got a letter that a lot of the refugees have returned to the downtown, uh, what to not knowing what to do next, or try to gather their belongings as possible. I know the bear raid was terrible, and hearing it from you guys when it came to here, I mean, just kind of makes you sick. So he's accompanying us, and we hire some extra muscles. Um, Duff Hug has also gotten some favors from the army militia that Lorenzo was actually a part of. Along with the paladins, someone got in contact with them to get supplies, and we'll try to help escort these refugees to Bercombe, Hadeling, and Pafstell, depending on their requests where they want to go. At least that was the plan, and so he was hoping maybe more shops for our little town. So yeah, the three guards I have a Goliath named Rudenstein. He's a fighter mercenary guy, I guess. He's quite good at his job. Simple, kind man of few words. His brother, I guess, was known for rescuing a rich nobleman. I think his name was Mel during his time in the ruins, I guess. And he makes a really good stew. And then the druid friend I was talking about, he's a furbold, which they're huge. I kind of for some reason I always thought they were like smaller or kind of same height, but anywho, his name is Balfour, which I guess means pasture or grass by his people, and he has this adorable, which at first terrifying, uh, baby owlbear who goes by Little Bigfoot, and then the last bodyguard that's with us is a retired hobgoblin. He just goes by Scar. By appearance alone, he was quite scary, and I was kind of nervous. But he's actually a gentle soul during his off. He definitely keeps a tight shift on everyone. I guess he used to serve a war in another country up north, but came down here for a change of pace. He has a weird spider tattoo on his arm, but I don't question it too much. And that was just the first day. So it was kind of exciting. I feel like I was going like a little adventure like you, but obviously not as dangerous. At least so far.
I'm glad it's not as dangerous. I don't want my little sister getting hurt.
Yeah, I don't really think I have the experience or heart ready for such a thing. I'm just kind of ready for a simple adventure, or just trying to do some good outside of town. Yeah, day two came along, and I learned I was in one heck for a trip. I greatly underestimated how far Youngstown was. I was told it was going to take a week to get to Colombo, and then 3 days to Hadeline, and 4 days to Youngstown, and that doesn't include the days we plan on staying in each town or city or little village. that's almost 2 weeks worth of traveling, and then maybe three or more, and then we have to travel back, so it's probably about be a month. So I guess I'm in it for the long haul. And the people who come to me, I'm very grateful that they're not asking for much money. So the money that you did leave us, and mother helped ship in, we kind of lucked out. The bounty hunter guy, the orc, he's kind of in it for the goodwill and seeing his siblings. And Rudenstein asked for enlightenment and lessons about Lathander every night. He definitely took the bigger portion of the gold that was given, and Vulcan also promised him a well-made dwarven sword in return. So that helps the cost exchange for her experience. Uh, Balafor, he just wants us to aid the forest to return the destruction that has been made or any wrongdoings. But like I said, I think your mission was successful because he's definitely a lot less stressed, sister. He's definitely a lot more calm, and he's just now just he's focused on the job. Scar, he's I guess just along for the adventure and karma. I guess he didn't take any of the gold. I was kind of surprised. I'll say it definitely took some time getting used to sleeping out in the safety of my house. We got we got the cart or outside the tent, and we had the open skies, and having someone always keeping watch is kind of unsettling. Kudos to you and your team for always doing that. I've been trying to mentally prepare myself how I was going to help the people in Colombo once I got there, so I tried to stay awake with some of them, but I just ended up falling asleep still. And then day three was a little calm. Nothing really too exciting there. I try to get to know my peers some more and share some insight on the religion that they were interested in talking in, and that the druid has the same approach to your friend, which was kind of interesting. They like I said, even though they're like how we run things with our religion, I definitely have a little bit more respect for them, and they can do things that most normal players can't even do. Um, and then day four got a little rough. Day four we ran into some wolves, actually a lot of wolves, and we got into a slight scuffle. But I was mainly unharmed as Scar stayed nearby, and thankfully we had that owlbear to keep him at bay. And he says it's a baby, but he's still pretty big. And then they kept them at bay, and then we ran into some giant frogs. But again, the owlbear made some quick work out of that, and then I had frog legs for the first time. And our veteran fighter also quickly dispatched any other thing. There was only one encounter that kind of really shook me to my core was I guess there was a wyvern attack, um, because the only thing that was left was some giant scars in the ground, and there was a stinger stuck in the ground. The guys took it for the gold, and I guess they extracted for some kind of poison. I guess it's supposed to be really valuable stuff. But yeah, just the carnage I left on the road and the trees nearby. It was just. I hope you never run into any of those. And I was also
Oh,
told about something to be careful about saber-toothed butterflies. I don't know if you ever heard of those, but I guess that's something else we have to worry about while we're traveling. So I've been kind of snuggling up with the juvenile owlbear for protection. He's a little snuggle beast, so to speak.
I
Then on oh god.
just and I know what having one of those is like. Actually, got an actual one of those Snuggle Beast plushes. It's
Oh, you
very,
actually have
very, it's very, very cuddly. I might give it to you. I've got you may have you saw my familiar before we left. Don't
yeah. You little sheep.
yeah. I don't. So it's a bit more cuddly than an inanimate object. Maybe I can give it to you when you get back. A whole month? Have you? You've never been away that long before, have you?
No. I've kind of always been in Bercombe. Um, might go into the forest once in a while, but not really outside of that. I kind of been well, just more dedicated to the studies of religion. And when you went to college, in Pasto, I just kind of, I don't know, just stayed around town. I didn't really have any real need. So it's definitely scary, um, but it's also kind of exciting at the same time.
Little sister's growing up.
And she like kind of does like a little giggle, and she's like, "I know it's quite something, and a lot of things have happened. But I'll tell you what though, at day 5, I was definitely feeling it. I'm not, man, sleeping out here makes you miss the comforts of your bed, and
Yes,
it's just like I mean, you kind of get used to it, but it's having a roof over your head, it really makes you make sure you don't take things for granted. You definitely start to notice all the small details that you wish you had, and it's a good thing I'm with definitely more experienced people to keep an eye on me. And you know, on that day, we were getting pretty close to not Pasto, Colombo, so I was getting kind of nervous. It makes you think too, the people who travel, people, all the risk and hardship from common traders, even commoners who just want to go visit their families. No wonder it's rare for people to go out. I mean, like I said, I haven't experienced too much issue, but like the wolves and the giant frogs and these wyvern attacks, like it's unfathomable.
it's a very scary world out there. I've run into all of those things. Didn't fight the wyvern, we were able to hide from it, but the rest of that
Oh my
we've
goodness.
dealt with in some form, and it's not easy, but you get good people around you. It's not impossible, for certain.
Let's see. Oh, day 6. Oh yeah. I found something that I thought would bring some joy to the children. I found some puppets on the side of the road. There were 5 of them. So we put them in the cart, but now that I
Why?
think about it, they went missing. Ah well, I'm not. I guess they must have fell off the back of the wagon.
Let's hope that's what happened.
Day 7, there really wasn't much to really write about. It was pretty ride. I just kind of talked to the party a little bit more. I guess Rudenstein was bragging about his brother making a killing. He would call it in gold when he served Mel. It kind of makes me want to meet this Mel character. He sounds like he's a pretty nice fellow, and if he can provide funds to the situation, it'd be. I'll have to maybe plan a trip to meet him, but no, that'll be for a little bit.
This
Right
world,
right now
this
that's
world is
uh
insane.
traveling for a month or maybe more is kind of exhausting. So I'll have to make a
Yeah,
separate trip if I'm up for it to Pasto.
this Mel character keeps coming up. I'm traveling with someone who claims to have been one of his traveling companions before. Name is Swag, and this guy, this Mel guy, keeps coming up. I think, if I remember correctly, um, Lorenzo worked with him too, according to
Oh really?
Swag.
So this white guy, is he? I'll make a roll history check. Okay, she didn't roll very high. She's like, Swag, it sounds. I met him, right?
I think so. Big, big, just big, and a bunch of rusted iron, bull helmet. Did you? Yeah, you should
Oh,
have met him.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Okay, so he saw our brother? Huh.
He claims he has. He hasn't really divulged too much.
Interesting.
I've
I'll
tried to
definitely have
talk
to.
to tried to talk to Lorenzo, and he's first time he didn't respond at all, and the second time he was very dismissive. I'm not sure what's going on with him. I'm very worried.
Our brother does work in mysterious ways, but he always tries to look out for the family. I'm sure he just doesn't want us to worry. At least that's what I'm telling myself.
Yeah, it's the best thing we can do.
Oh, that reminds me, Pasto, you've been there for a while. Can you like describe the city to me? I heard there's a big variety of shops and taverns there, a bunch of taverns, and I'm surprised. I was talking to the owner of the Iron Lantern, the one that father used to go to all the time. He says he doesn't have a place out there. He says he has a brother that owns one called the Golden Lantern and the Bronze Lantern, the Copper Lantern, but they haven't moved into Pasto for whatever reason.
Huh. I don't honestly know too much about the local. I mean, I was at Paso for a long time, but for many years I would pretty much just stayed in the college. Wasn't until recently that I really it explored the whole city, but it's very big. There are many bars. It's very concerning when I come to think of it, but I guess it is a major travel destination or trade hub, so I guess it makes sense to a degree. It's
Yeah,
just
I mean, and the place is also like huge, so like the fact that there's only that many major like known taverns, like it still doesn't cover everyone that comes in too. So
but
let's see.
as for the shops, there's one ran by a dwarven fellow, another kind of like Vulcan, but not as cuddly.
Oh yeah, Vulcan did mention he had a brother in Pasto that helps him get stuff out there.
It's a shop ran by a racist elf. We don't intend to ever go back there.
Remember, he died. He was one of the casualties from the Thieves Guild.
And then there's the eccentric. There's several eccentrics. There's a Kenku who's an alchemist who's maybe I'm being judgmental. Maybe he's not as bad, but he gave off weird vibes. But I might just be being judgmental, and I need to work on that. And
Kinku,
then
what's a kinku?
a crow person. They uh
Oh,
they
kind of like
can't.
how there's dragon people and like bear people.
Yeah, and they can't. Uh, they don't have their own voice. They talk by mimicking all the other voices and sentences they've heard throughout their lives. They're very interesting people.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if I'll run into any. They sound kind of interesting. I always do like me some birds. I mean, crows are not as pretty as others, but I heard they're quite intelligent.
Yeah. They also, well, the Kenku also are unable to fly like other birds, so it's not the happiest life being a Kenku, from what I've gathered. But they make do, as we all do.
Yeah, just like we all do, and whatever that we're born with.
Then
Let's
there's
see.
a horrible little gnome, very just a bad person. Not even just a bad person.
Oh, it's just kind of the shady type. Does take advantage of
Very
people. That's a
incredibly.
shame to hear. But I guess in a big city like that, you get a couple bad apples.
Then there's a woman, but she's. I can't quite make out what she is. She presents human, but she's also almost like a werewolf, but she isn't, I think. But I'm not really sure. She was very interesting, very kind, as long as you didn't piss her off. And then the weirdest one was actually, I think, just a human, but he has a very weird shop of masks. Just very odd individual with a very odd collection of products. But that's all the shops that I visited, at least.
And I am purposefully not mentioning the
Yeah, I
Revens.
figure. I figure. Not even gonna put that idea in her head. That's fair. Um, she goes, "Oh, the mask person sounds kind of interesting. It's quite a niche shop to sell. But you said is it like a magical or is it just he just sells regular old mask?
Both. I actually
Oh,
bought. I bought one, but it's not come into play as much as I was expecting it to. But
what does it do?
if you put it on and wait for like 5, 6 seconds without moving, you'll become invisible. It's very helpful when you're trying to hide, but only if you're confident in the location you've chosen to hide.
And just haven't came up yet, huh? Well, I mean, I'm sure you'd be glad to have it when the time does arrive.
I think you're right. But
See,
yeah, that's I didn't. I mean, I went to some of the taverns with the party that we were with, but don't really know a whole lot about the taverns. There was there was one very nice owner and her son. Her son is a amazingly sweet and simple orc fella by the name of Gum Gum, and he's a blessing. Very very sweet boy. But yeah, that's besides the stuffy people up in the college. That's about all the people I really interacted with, to be honest, in that city.
do you remember what the tavern's called with this Gum Gum character? If I'm ever up there, I'd like to see this place.
No. The answer to that question is no.
No, you don't remember, or
I don't. Jo-an would, but Adam doesn't.
yeah, Joanne would know it as the Cat and the Fiddle.
It was a tabaxi, right?
Yep,
No,
Tabaxi
I
named
figured.
Cuddles, um, and then of course you know who Gum Gum is.
It was the cat and the fiddle. The owner was a tabaxi lady, and they actually came into some money. Not sure how, but I'm happy for them. They were able to build an extension to get I think it's a spa or maybe a bathhouse. Not sure, but sounds nice. But we haven't been back since that's been added.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard one of those before. Well, hopefully by the time I go visit, it'll be all done and finished, and I can go check out what it is.
Yeah, So you're heading. Are you in Colombo now? Have you gone through it?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm back on the road again to Hadeling, and we just left Colombo not too long ago. When we, what day was that? I said day seven, so day 8. Yeah, so we arrived there, and I mean, as you could imagine, it was devastation galore. We cleaned up as much as we could, and we tried to recover as much belongings as we could, and people just, distraught and destroyed, and just sad to see the whole town. I
What
guess
happened
the
there
town
exactly?
was, I guess the town is known for their entertainments and festivals and foods and game, and it's a uh, very cultural party-ish kind of place. Not, I guess not like super party, but like just festivities. But unfortunately, that got all, of course, ransacked by the bears, and land itself you can clearly see is taking a beating, and there was a lot of bodies and that was decomposing and ripped to shreds. It was definitely a lot for me to handle. I mean, I'm fine now, but between my faith and some time, and my mission kind of snapped me out of it. And it took some time to adjust. Oh yeah, I also wrote house in particular. We were told not like to kind of leave one next to it. I'm sure with a talk
You're cutting
board.
out real bad,
Let's
man.
see. Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Alright. Does it sound better or
Yeah.
okay? Yeah. So she was saying about how there's a house in particular they were told to leave alone just because there was a sign next to it with an adventure with a talking sword. And she's like, let me see. I wrote his Gregory was his name, I guess. And you wouldn't recognize that name because that's the old master that Toothy was talking about. But he typically says master most of the time, but he has said Gregory a few times. So no one could try to take claim or try to ransack his place. I guess he has some hidden books or compartments that would like to be untouched, and the villagers respect that. I guess he's done quite a few favors for them. So we actually had a guard actually stationed there to keep opportunists away. I mean, there's not a guard there no longer, so hopefully he returns soon, and his stuff is still there. And I'm kind of curious about this talking sword, but people seem kind of squeamish when I try to get some information about it. So I kind of drop it and focus on helping the people. And then on the second day of Columbo, I mean, I kind of did what I did. I did a lot of prayers for people, whether it be for Lathander, Palor, or any of the other gods of light that they wish for at the time. Which, I mean, I've only know Lathander, but it seems similar-ish enough that I could kind of, stumble my way through it and try to be flexible as possible to try to accommodate their needs. And they seem pretty pleased with it. I expand my knowledge a little bit about the other gods, but not too much. Um, we were kind of waiting for the paladins to come down to have more escorts and get more equipment, and the military was doing day by day transportations for everyone to have enough food and clothing for everyone. And it seems like everyone's resource on manpower is quite thin. That's where the spell, I guess, the druid knows is called Goodberry, and it was a literal lifesaver. It's a small little berry. It doesn't really fill the belly, but it gives you, I guess, enough nutrients for an entire day. And speaking of which, we had a bunch of clerics help healing, and I actually learned how to channel some healing. Now it took a lot of energy out of me, and I was only able to perform some small magic, but I guess I have a knack for healing people. They said I actually do better than most people who first started off, and if I keep practicing at it, I guess I'll have a real knack of it for saving people's life. And then day 3 we got everyone taken care of, and we had everyone organized where the families wanted to go, and most of them went to Pasto and some to Hadelin, and and then they got a head start while I kind of stayed back with our group for the for combi people. Uh, we told them what we have and who lives there, what to expect, and what kind of stores we got. It's a little bit quieter and relaxful. It's a peaceful town, and while I hated to do it, I kind of asked my companions to kind of check these people out because I want to make sure I bring people into the town that we can trust. And while I want to help, I also like our town being kind of problemless. Um, but they seem like good people. I don't think we're expecting any kind of trouble. So we kind of took an extra day to kind of get them situated and relax, and before we send them off to our little town, and we were going to begin our journey to Hadeland to see how their situation is in the tuning. And then at this time, this is where you get your fancy dice out. So whenever you're ready,
Okay.
I'm gonna take some drink here. So at this time, you're gonna roll me a d6 to see how many new families or people went to Percombi. And due to the goodwill of your sister and your religious checks of Lathander, and from the Tolarus family and your RP and just your RP in general, like you as a player, have been doing very well. I'm gonna let you roll with advantage, and depending how many people, depending on your d6 is how many families come down, and then that basically, depending on the amount of people, that's how many shops are gonna open up. So if you roll double ones, like I guess that's fucking fate. I don't know what to tell you, but
Right. Well, I rolled a 2 and a 1, so 2.
two people, okay. So now you've got the four clouds, and then you got the humble spears. So right now, for these two people, you're gonna go ahead and roll me a d8. Um, and if you want, you can use your inspiration to get a new roll. After you see both results, you can do it after the two rolls, and you can see if there's anything else. So for the far clouds, go ahead and roll me that d8.
A 1?
Okay. They are fellow blacksmiths who are going to assist Vulcan. It's going to increase the speed of production and reduce wait time, and will produce additional items. Just an overall upgrade for Vulcan's shop.
Okay.
And then go ahead and roll me another one. If you get a one again, it's just going to go down the list.
7.
Sevens. I think seven's a very good one. Okay, yep, seven. You got a patch shop that can be sewn on patches for like robes or useful items if you own one, or if you have like normal cloth armor, depending on the rarity, will determine how many patches you can sew on. So basically, you have common, you can sew one, and each rank above that you can sew additional one. So it can be between 1 to 5. It's semi-expensive, depending on the item you want to sew on and size. If you have a row of useful items, you can place those items you've used, and you can sew on two additional ones. And that will be for the Humble Spears family. And then, so do you want to use inspiration for any of that stuff?
No.
And nope. Okay. And now you're gonna roll me another d6, again with advantage for Pasto, and this is how many new shops open in Pasto, and these ones are going to be completely different. So whatever you didn't get from Mercambi will not show up in this one, except for one shop, um, just because I really liked it.
4.
So you got four new people. Okay, so we will go ahead and roll for Sarah Moore, and you're going to again do a d8.
4.
Four, you got a, let's see. You got a arrow shop that creates various types of arrows for hunting and slaying, along with some advanced traps.
2.
Okay, so for Megan Davids, oh, you said two.
Ye.
You got You got a rune crafter, which can range from
Oh shit.
one-time use items, like on rocks, to engraving on weapons and armor, which could either be one-time uses or permanent upgrades or like once a day kind of stuff. So in general, you just got like rune crafting for various things.
It's awesome.
How much did you roll on the 1d6 again? Four?
4.
Okay, let me just go ahead and get 1, 3, and 4 here. Okay, so John Johnson.
6.
Johnson 6. You've got. Okay, you got a new magic shop that replaces Gnome the Gnome's Beholder's Treasure Trove. This includes like armor, weapons, items, etc. Now with 90% less sketchiness.
Holy shit, let's go. This is the best news.
All right, and the last one for who the fuck did I name this person? Crinkle Crankle.
It's a name. 7 again, so.
Okay, so you're gonna go to the next one. Is the chaotic, and this is the one I kind of hope you got. You got the chaotic shop of recycle mysteries. So this is a very unique one because what this is, you gain items from, you can buy items from other campaigns, one shots, or even the games I've been in, and I kind of steal those from those games that will like never show up in this campaign just due to the situation and environment they are, even campaign setting or whatever crazy shit. So basically, you get a large range of weird shit that you can buy, and it just it can range anywhere between simple equipment to um, weapons, armor. It pretty much is anything goes that can show up in that shop,
Neat.
including like other planes that and they may use their own currency.
Oh, goody.
So yep. And if you want to see what other things you could potentially roll, I can post that in the general chat for your own curiosity.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not gonna run down it though, right now.
no. It'll be after we're done. I can just kind of post like what could have showed up just for shits and giggles, and then yeah. And then she says, and then it leads to today. We're back on the road to Hadeling, like I said, to help the new settlers settle in, so to speak, and give them a warm welcome and familiar faces. A lot of people are drawn to me and were happy with my assistance and my companions. And Runestein brings a positivity, trying to ignore all the bad things happening in Balfour Druidic magic for growing plants and food. It's going to make things easier for them to settle in. And while sure you can survive on good berries, I mean, like I said, you kind of need something a little bit more substantial for your tummy. I'm kind of worried though, because I guess the town that we're going to is more. I heard the population is mainly centaurs. I think it's a centaur-only village. Not only as a restrictive, just that's just what happens to grow up there and live around there. So some people might find it a little jarring. I know. I guess centaurs are not commonly seen, and I guess it's a really hilly region, so it's gonna be we're kind of curious of how the agriculture is going to go, and I guess it has a little bit of a mild crime rate due to being so close to Youngstown. And I heard centaurs have their own religions and teachings, and I hope it doesn't clash with any other people, their place of worship. And kind of hoping we can separate or come to terms, or you know I don't know. It's just kind of stress inducing in general. And
Just,
yeah, that's all I
just
got for
don't
now.
try to change someone who's already. If they're set in their ways, it's especially if it's your first time there. Just don't try to change anyone's mind. Just
Yeah,
stay safe.
that's what the druid said. He says if we want pure cooperation, just leave them to their things, and we'll do our own thing and try to work together as best as possible. So I think it'll go fine. It's just it's putting trust into other people and strangers, especially since they went through a stressful situation. So hopefully once we show up, people will kind of lighten up and we'll be in a better mood and we can kind of get things straightened away. I guess the military's already contacted the Centaurs to kind of let them know the heads up, but that's all I really know. It doesn't really sound any good or bad. But yeah, I'll definitely take that advice to heart, sister, just to, make sure we get the most cooperation as possible.
Well,
She kind of looked out at Yang, and she's getting sleepy, and she's like, "So, oh, what about you? Anything else? What's going on with you?
well,
I assume you saved the forest."
yes. Oh, it's been a fucking terrible week.
Oh no, things didn't go smoothly in the forest, or?
No, they went, in the end, they went very well, but along the way, there was complications that I am not capable of divulging.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. We had people like that in the village that just, they needed some more time before, processing or even want to sit down and kind of deal with those issues. And I'm always here to listen if you feel like talking about those things.
Well, what happened in the forest that I can't talk about? We, well, we did succeed. Um, there was a cult of some sort that was corrupting the trees, certain ancient trees within the forest, and it upset the guardian of that forest, a dryad, which is a fey woman that's like kind of like a tree person.
Okay.
But so we were able to stop the cult and cleanse the forest, and then Ripple was able to calm the dryad, and we were able to save her and talk her down from destroying Valcrest. Was Ripple's an interesting lady, very wise, and yet at the same time so simple, and it's so endearing. And but besides one or two things that happened in the forest, that all went well. The trip to Valcrest went well. Um, the the statue that Vulcan was had built for Karathos got here, and everyone was happy about that. But when we got back into town, it's been about it's been 4 days, and well, Karathos left, and I don't know why or when I'm gonna see him again, and it just really fucking hurts.
Well, I'm sure he has his reasons or duties he has to do. I'm sure you're, I'm confident you'll see him again.
I better. He promised he would. But we met, so that's the other thing. Whenever someone leaves, there's someone fills that spot. I mean, we just met him today, but he's seems like a good person and capable and interesting. a bard. Goes by a... Oh, God. Goes by Jeffrey. Why is everyone called Jeffrey? What happened? Do you know anything about this? Is there anything in your books, your holy books? Why is there so many people
Uh,
named Jeffrey?
I heard it was a very popular year to call everyone Jeffrey, and it just happened to happen.
There's a lot of age
I,
difference. It wasn't it's clearly not a year.
I guess there was a generation people really liked the name Jeff or Jeffrey. I, I don't know. I really didn't put too much thought to it, but now that you mentioned it, it makes me think if there's like a religion around it or something. Is that a cult? Technically,
If
is there a
there's no God, then yes. If it's following a person that has decided on this, it would be a cult rather than a god. And even, well, I mean, some cults do follow gods, but for the most part, that's how I've always learned of it, at least. If there's a god, it's a religion, which can be, you know, very zealotous and cult like, but technically would be considered a religion before it's a cult. But that's just semantics. Yeah, but anyway, Jeffrey's a bard, and we don't really know what we're doing next, and maybe after this festival we'll want to go. Something might come up, or we might have just want to go do something, and if he is interested, I think he would be a good fit for the group. He's a
yeah, but
very
I've
good
heard
magician.
about
He's a
bards.
musician.
Oh, is he? What has he played that you've heard?
Uh, he's played on a piano here in the tavern we're staying, and also on his own. Uh,
Was it a lute or a flute? I can't remember. I think it was a lute, right?
Yeah, he has like an actual like guitar, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
and his lute. So pretty standard bard stuff, but still very talented.
Yeah, especially pianos. I heard this is something that's not really easily done. Lutes are very common, but piano though. Well, he sounds like he'll be a good addition, and hopefully, we'll brighten up the party and kind of. I don't want to say the word distract, but kind of put your guys' mind at ease about everything that's happening. Is he quite capable of holding his own?
Y- yes, he did. We met him on the road. He was an escort for a uh, a girl about the same age as you, who was sent to retrieve potions, and they were ransacked by some bandits, and he was able to scare them off long enough to get the girl. We uh we sent Maeve. Did you meet Maeve? The
Yeah, I
half
met Maeve
elf.
very briefly, but yeah, I met her.
She went the We were hired by that girl's mother to go find her because she was late and worried. And so we sent Maeve with the girl back to Valcrest, and then to ensure the bandits didn't accost anyone else, we went and found them and dealt with them. And he was very capable.
That's as far as I'm concerned, that's all I kind of care about right now, because I know your Karathos friend was very capable fighter, and if this one's just as good and can keep you safe, then I'm glad. And Lathander's still watching over you, then.
I think so. But yeah, mm, looking forward to this festival. It'll be nice to have some levity.
Yeah, it's gonna be real. It should be real fun. It'll be a nice reward and hit the reset on everything. I know. Well, getting back to this new town I mean, I know I'm still traveling, but man, I could really go for like a bed right now.
Did you get one in Colombo?
Oh no, because everything was destroyed in the town.
Oh,
There's not a building left in sight, unfortunately. You know, there are buildings destroyed everywhere. The only thing I mean, we had tents, and I guess I slept better because we had, a bunch of guards watching around, but it's still like a whole roof over my head. So I don't have to worry
yeah.
about wind or bugs or, any other critters going through. That's another thing, critters, ugh.
Did you
But
have a problem? Did you ever run in with raccoons as well?
I guess I'm not the one who usually chases them off. I'd ask Scar, but he's currently asleep until his watch here in another hour or so. Actually, no, you be messaging not that late. He's when he's next on watch. He's That's when he usually catches them.
I mean,
So
it
I'll if
it was late because it was after after Jeff for the my date Jeff went home, and then
hmm
so it's somewhat late, but anyway.
not enough. I don't think it'd be late enough for who I said good. I said good was on shift. So, but yeah, anyhow. But yeah, hopefully it still remains smooth and get a proper bed and then worry about doing the heavy lifting that day. So I think let's see what I say in my notes. It'll be 3 days. So two more days and I should be there and we'll see what happens.
I hate thinking about my little sister being in danger, but you're finding your own way in this world, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, sister. It's not. I don't think I have to worry about too much as long as I got this cute this owlbear with me.
Uh,
I wonder if I can get my own.
uh, I don't think Mother would appreciate that.
Oh no, I'm sure she'd be scared to Hickens and back. It definitely took me a little while to get used to it, but like I said, he's quite nice, or maybe just because he's really well tamed. I'm not really sure. Probably the really well tamed part.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a druid's friend, so I'd assume they uh they communicate and are able to just able to communication is, you know, so very important.
Yeah, I guess it's just like we are people. They're like that with animals, it seems.
Your druid has a mighty owlbear, and ours has a little rat. Don't know how that happens, but seems like you won the druid lottery.
Yeah, I definitely feel safer with a giant owlbear than a little rat. But maybe his little rat has his own tricks and sleeves, or maybe just
No,
bums off food.
it's
I don't
just
really know.
it's gone fat, and we need to get it on a diet. Actually, it's cute, but it's also very sad.
Your your rat needs to be on a diet.
Yes,
Is that a thing?
yes. This rat is grown since we met quite a lot.
Sounds like he's eating like a king.
sounds. According to Ripple, he is royalty. I don't know what that means, but it would explain the behavior, the greed, the gluttony, but he's still just a tiny little rat, and we can control it to an extent to ensure it gets back to a healthy weight and lifestyle. And, you know,
Yeah,
it
if
is a
it's a
rat, and
king
it might be
country.
listening to me right now, and that would be very interesting to see what would come of that. But you were saying? I'm sorry.
Oh no. I was saying if he's a so-called king, it'd be probably should get him probably to some proper royalty, but I uh
It's a rat.
I don't really have yeah, I don't really have much of a comment on that, but who knows? There's stranger things I'm learning.
This world's weird. So, your plan is to get to Youngstown. What is it? Just trying to help the people there? What is
Yeah,
it
I mean
you're.
I've just trying to help the people out, and religion's always been a good solid setting stone for most people, and some people may need a little religious enlightenment, and even if they don't, just want to help them in general. I heard there's a lot of bad things going on, and it's just someone needs to take the time and effort to do it. So, and as bad as it is, I'm kind of a little nervous, but someone's got to step up and do it.
Lathander will keep you safe, as well as your traveling companions. Don't be afraid to lean on them.
Uh, I won't. I'm already trying to practice my healing magic, so if things do go south, which I'm already mentally preparing myself might happen, I'll be prepared for this situation. Or maybe I'll keep going like this trip and go mostly smooth.
I pray
But I'm
it's
not
that.
gonna not gonna count my chickens though. Not yet.
No.
Well,
Maybe you
sister,
wouldn't want
it was
to.
nice hearing from you, but I think I'm starting to pass out here. I'm still not really used to staying up. Is there anything else you want to talk about before I doze off here?
I love you, Lily. I really
I
do.
love you, big sister.
Stay safe. I'll talk to you.
And
I might talk to you tomorrow night.
that sounds good. And you stay safe too. Good night.
Good night.
And just like that, just when you're done using it, the stone just starts glowing, and it'll be up again by tomorrow. And you try to get yourself ready for bed for the festival the next day.
Yerp.
Alright, so let's see what you could have gotten for Brakambi. Far Clouds and Humble Spear, you have Millers, no, no Forts, Shenabangs, a guy named Kyle.
Of course.
So, so you got the blacksmith upgrade. You could have gotten exotic weapons expert. You would have had books and their uses, their history, how to make and whatnot. It would expand the type of weapons you could buy or get made, such as like chakrams, chain hooks, bolas, axe spears, and other oddity and racial weapons.